We re-review Ori and the Blind Forest and some extended content for Shadowrun Hong Kong. Twitch launches a desktop app to take on Skype, Discord, and eventually Steam. Pete takes another ride through hell, and we give away the Stanley Parable. All this and more on episode 24 of
The Pile of Shame.
Geeks of all kinds, we know the struggle, that overwhelming pile of content to still finish. Conquer that pile and don't quit. Today is March 16th, 2017. My name is Rob, and I am your host for the support group. I go by Chai Tea out there in the gamer world, and with me tonight to help encourage you to keep the fight against that growing pile are my co-hosts. Going first to Pete, who is surely traumatized by yet another ride to hell.
I am still suffering from some PTSD, so if I start just swearing, that's just a side effect of last night. It's nothing against you guys.
All right, and Totem, who has been busy with a secret project. Well, not so secret, but secret.
Well, I mean, if it's secret in the sense that I've been keeping you guys in the loop, then yes, it's secret.
Right. And we're doing this without a mute button for me today because software is software. So you're going to hear some weird noises, especially this Japanese soda I've got that's got this little rock, so it has weird sounds coming out of it. Fun times.
Nothing like clicks and burbling noises. That's just a regular podcast.
Mm-hmm. That's just a normal day in podcasting. All right, let's see what is keeping us from playing some games in Delay of Game. All right, Pete, what's keeping you, man?
Yeah, so I actually had a pretty good week this week, but I don't know if you know this, but it turns out there's a lot of stuff in a house like that can go wrong. So
yeah, that's why I don't have one.
Yeah, no, I actually like it, but when I bought this place, there were a bunch of projects I knew were coming, and they basically, I guess March was like the month to do it. I guess February as well. So been dealing with that, but otherwise, I've played Ride to Hell twice since we last talked. I think that's 2 times more than anybody ever should.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing Inside as well, which I think Totem beat, and actually enjoying that one quite a bit. But so I'm playing real games, guys.
Woo!
I promise.
Well, technically, you're only counting one of those as a real game.
The other one is a train wreck.
Yes. Well, let's see. For me, I've actually been playing a lot of games, but I've had just attention deficit disorder going on because I've played 4 different games for a little bit. So yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. But I'm having a lot more time for games now because I sound like a broken record, but I quit World of Warcraft again.
We believe in you. You can do it.
This time I actually let the subscription lapse, so I actually can't play unless I go pay some more money, so there is that.
Oh, what happens? So if it lapses, you have to pay extra to get your character back?
No, but it's just my subscription's not there, so I have to actually plop down some money for a subscription again. So I let that one lapse. Handed over the reins to my raid team, Rolling Thunder, to one of my friends here in Omaha, and he's leading the reins. They start again tomorrow. And I plan, since I still run the soundboard on my Raspberry Pi, I plan to record some snippets of me saying just random raid stuff, like, "Okay, guys, just wipe it," or "Man, your Chaos Bolt just tab target and hold some more trash. Damn it!" And just random stuff like that. And put it on the soundboard, and just without even being in the chat, I can drop my sound bot to play random sounds. So just troll the crap out of them. Should be fun.
Perfect.
Yeah. Besides WoW stuff, I've been busy with tabletop. Last week I had D&D, followed immediately by Star Wars, followed by Going to Sleep, followed by Shadowrun. So it was very, very heavy tabletop. It was good times.
Nice.
Let's see. Board games. Shelley is planning on running a game at a local board game convention called Grimslinger. And so playing it and getting used to it, so that way she can run it at the convention. It was a Kickstarter game. It's kind of like a dueling game where you pull out different elemental spells and cast them on each other, and then sometimes so it's kind of like a fantasy meets Western feel to it. It's kind of cool.
Well, first, do you get to slap someone with a glove?
There's like 70 items in the game. I would be very surprised if slapping them with a gauntlet of some sort or a glove was not part of it. Let's see. Diablo 3 and Rocket League have both been keeping my interest. The Diablo 3 season ends here soon. So does, finally, the Rocket League season. Season 3 has been going on, I think, since 2012. So...
Luckily, I dragged you down a few ranks here in the last couple of days.
Actually,
right?
no, you didn't. Like, we won most of those games that we played together. So I don't know how.
Just not the last 3.
Just not the last 3. This is true.
After I ranked up.
Man. And, yeah, so those have been keeping me fairly busy. Diablo 3 I'm getting back into. It's a game that you can pop in with a few of your friends, kill some stuff, and move on. So... It's a good time waster, which unfortunately I really shouldn't be doing, but I'm doing.
But it doesn't have a subscription, so it's going to be there always.
Exactly. All right, Sodom, what have you been up to, man?
All right, well, first up, I am living proof that, like, you can legit quit WoW. And just, spend your time on another Blizzard franchise.
Right.
Because, I have not done that at all. So,
No.
Yeah. Okay, so... On the last show, I mentioned that I was creating a Smurf account on Overwatch to group with some of my silver and gold ranked players in competitive. That
How
are my
about
friends.
bronze like me? Actually, no, I'm still silver. Never mind.
Yeah, and I placed like around 2,300, which wasn't.
That
too
was
far
not
off.
intended. I'm sure.
No, that was not intended. My problem was, okay, so during my placements, I was with a few other people. And one of them was a Junkrat main. And I wasn't really trying to do damage, and then I still ended up carrying the team. Because there was one game in specific where it was on Lijiang Tower, and it went all 5 rounds, and I ended up doing like 45,000 damage in that game. And I'm like, this...
As Mercy,
No.
right?
No, as Soldier.
Okay.
But like... It just gets to the point where I'm like, oh man, like I need to just figure out something else. But at least I'm at the point now where I'm still able to queue with everyone that's
Right. That's
near
around
that level.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too high to the point where I'm unable to queue with anyone that I was wanting to queue with. So,
yeah, it puts you down to 1,300 through 3,300, so you should be able to get in with people. So it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I placed. And I tried to run with teammates, with friends, and the first few matches didn't go well. I think I was like 2 and 3 for the first 5, and then I just solo queued the rest and went 3 and 2, so I ended at 5 and 5, and got like a 1,700 rank, and I was like, that's bullshit.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Is that good bullshit or bad bullshit?
No, it's bad
Bad.
bullshit.
Okay.
Like I've averaged in the 2,200s to 2,300s both seasons, so it's a hard climb out of that hole too. So, but I've got a Smurf to help me now. So,
Yep, definitely. And here's a Smurf story. So my coworkers have been playing a lot on PC lately, and one of them is coming from playing on PS4. So we were doing some quick play, trying to get him up to 25, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be facing a lot of low levels on the Smurf regardless. So I'm just gonna pick Zarya, and we were attacking on Kane's Row. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm gonna be really aggressive. I'm gonna bubble. I'm gonna get as max energy as I possibly can. I drop a Graviton Surge on the objective, get a 4K, die in the process from their other 2 teammates, and my team did not even get a single tick on the objective, despite having a 5v2 advantage.
Oh no.
And it is moments like that on my Smurf where I question the people that play at low level.
right.
Because, like, mathematically, like they should have been able to, just win outright 5v2, but apparently not.
It's hard, man. It's difficult.
I know, you gotta like shoot people.
Yeah, I mean
but other
those
than
two
that,
people were good. Okay.
apparently. Other than that, there's been a lot more Overwatch tournaments going on, so I've been busy with that. I'm working on a project which I've talked about in the past, which is the OWLN, aka the Overwatch League Network, which will be launching. I don't really have an ETA. It'll be soon because the league is starting Q3 of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I designed our logo. I was doing some video intros for like our YouTube content. Really happy with how things are going, and just the vision that we have for it. So just looking forward to creating some more content out there because I just love doing it. And other than that, we had the BlizzCon announcement. So I have been planning how exactly I'm going to make that work because I have a huge Disney World trip in June that I'm going to, and Disney World is expensive as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So balancing the two, it's going to be a bit tricky. So
Yeah.
I'm not planning on buying a ticket this year like I did last year. I just so happened to luck out and got a ticket from McGildy, from Gizmozord, aka the host of Lords of the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
So not going for a ticket. I'm going to go for the parties. We did reserve a house with the Airbnb, so we
Yeah,
got that
apparently that
situated.
Anaheim law got squashed. So
Yeah,
Oh, did it? Okay.
which was the big news because a lot of us were concerned about that because
Yeah.
that was the route that a lot of us were taking.
yeah, the hotels just gouge you like crazy for that convention.
Yeah, so just to put it in perspective, Pete, so like the hotels in Anaheim during that time frame are usually 200 plus a night.
Ooh.
I was seeing that
And-
Annabella was charging 800 a night.
Yeah, that's
My goodness.
that's at the very low end, but like it goes up to like 500, 800, whatever. So for our house with Airbnb per person for
the entire
the 4
trip is like
days.
140, $200 at most.
it depends how long you take the house. So we did like 4 days, and it averaged out to about like $230 per person for the entire stay.
Yeah.
For the entire time. Okay. Wow. Significant.
So,
Yeah, that's
yes,
what I did when I went last
it is
time.
a
too.
huge money saver. Aside from me just going to the liquor store, buying bottles, and bringing a flask everywhere, because that's gonna be a ton of money too.
Right.
But that's besides the point.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I'll be going this year, A, because I quit WoW, and it's going to be a WoW-focused year, I imagine. That and esports. B, I don't drink, and that's kind of like the big reason to go.
You
Is
drink some stuff. Just not the
Nothing.
stuff they're serving, probably.
Right, yeah, nothing that's alcoholic. And so yeah, it's mainly the side parties just to meet people, and it's, I don't know, it's, yeah. Don't think I'll be going this year, but we'll see. We'll see. It's a maybe. All right. Well, looks like there were a couple games that got beat this year, or this year. Wow.
This year. Oh, we got 2 in this year, guys.
2 in this year. All right. We can call it a year. All right.
Well, we've already met Pete's quota in that case.
Right.
Yeah, I think you beat mine.
All right. Well, let's figure out what we did beat in conquering the pile. Oi.
Oh, no. We are the soundboard.
Stupid soundboard.
Boop.
All right. Well, Shadowrun Hong Kong, I reviewed that one last time. There was a 6-hour prologue campaign that I completed as well. So a quick review of this is that you started approximately about 3 to 4 months after the events of the game. You keep the same characters, you keep the same loadout, so you actually have to load in a save from beating the first part of the game. And you continue on and get a whole new chapter of the story with new characters and new events that happen. In typical Shadowrun fashion, you have a lot of plot twists that occur when you're going in. I don't rate it quite as good as the main campaign because you don't get to level up your guys' characters anymore. You get to level up your main character because you continue to earn karma, so you gain more power, but your all of your party members don't get any additional benefits, don't get any new levels of things that they do that are the same the whole way out. And it seems like every group in every encounter has at least one person with this cyberware ability that's like a magnetic arm that will pick up grenades that you launch and throw them back at you. So it's like two of my members rely very heavily on grenades, and so they're kind of neutered. And it's like you have to fire randomly at a group and hope it doesn't come back at you, which most of the time it does.
Nice.
So that got a little frustrating. But overall, the story, good subplot story. 6 hours of gameplay. It wasn't too bad. I enjoyed the story mode of it. Overall, I would rate it probably a 4 out of 5 Ruger Super Warhawks for the extended. It's not quite as fun as the main campaign. So just
did it take you 6 hours, or was it faster, longer?
Yeah, it was about 6 hours, but I did all of the side quests. I think there were 2 side missions you could do, and then you had the main storyline mission that went out after that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, Totem.
Yep, I finished my playthrough of Ori and the Blind Forest, and this one took me a little bit longer just because it is Metroidvania and it does test your patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they get that way.
Yep, definitely. All right, so Ori and the Blind Forest is a video game. Yes, it's more of a work of art though.
Mm-hmm.
So the intro sequence is really well crafted. It's pretty much haunting but beautiful. You basically nurture this relationship between Ori and Naru, and then it kind of like goes through like this montage where they're like building bridges and gathering fruit, and then the forest just kind of takes a turn for the worse, and you're pretty much dying, and there's a bit of a tragedy that spawns from that, and then it's up to Ori when his light awakens to restore the light of the spirit tree and save the rest of the forest.
And what is Ori like? Is this a person, or is it a weird...
It's like a forest spirit. It's like,
okay.
Imagine Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, but like pure white.
Huh, okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I guess that's a stupid question to ask, but I know the name of the game, and that's pretty much it. And that it's pretty.
Yep.
That's all you really need to know. No.
Yeah, right, perfect.
Yes. So you explore the map in this Metroidvania style where backtracking is encouraged after you unlock new abilities.
Yes.
Ori pretty much begins the game very fragile. He has very low health, doesn't really have any abilities, but that quickly changes once you start to collect light orbs from enemies that you defeat. And then you can use those light orbs to unlock abilities. And on top of that, you can use these orbs to create a soul link, which is a way to access the ability tree as well as save your progress in the game. So it's not like an auto-save type game like some other games out there. You kind of like get to create your own save points where you want them, which is kind of ideal in certain situations because some of these jump puzzles are going to test you, and to be able to save at that point rather than having to backtrack from the start of the level can save you a lot of frustration.
Yeah, there was a couple times where it's like near the end of the game, you get an ability that lets you kind of auto regen the energy over time. And so there were a couple times with the really hard jump puzzles that I'd go through a section, like I'd make one jump, hit my save, then jump, and if I made it, or when I made it, I would just sit there for a little bit and regen energy, save.
Oh my god, nice.
Because it's like yeah, some
Must
of those
be some
jumping
rough
puzzles,
ones, yeah.
Some of them are pretty nuts because you get a ton of abilities over the course of the gameplay that you get to do all sorts of crazy stuff, and so they make you use all of that crazy stuff throughout the entirety.
Interesting. Is there sorry, you mentioned the ability tree or something, right? Is there anything like in the game that gates you from advancing that, or is it strictly just collect soul things and invest
Well,
them until you build up the tree.
there are these trees that you end up salvaging where you gain a new ability that way, and then the ability tree is more you just add in extra potency to the skills that you have.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. So
Yeah, and
jump higher, go faster.
it gets
whatever.
exponential. Like as you go past a few levels of each tree, it's more expensive to go. So I think
Oh, yeah.
by the time I finished my playthrough, I didn't even have any of the trees fully unlocked because I spread myself out over the three of them.
Yes,
That's
and that was pretty much the same with me. Really, the only like downfall of this game I thought was the narrative because it's just pretty much straightforward. There's really not that much past what was set up in the opening sequence, which is basically Ori just looking to save the forest. So there's a bit of a like familiarity in terms of the story, but I don't think it was a huge issue. But like I just wanted just a little bit more from it. But there's like enough touching moments to add depth to the game to kind of help compensate with that.
Yeah,
That's good. So
Yeah,
it was
I agree.
effective at what it did, even if there was not necessarily a lot.
Yep. And gameplay-wise, Ori's controls were pretty precise with the jump mechanics, but there were times where I felt that it was a little bit too precise because there are times where I found ledges that were just reachable, where you'd have to have the exact angle of peak just to make the jump.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it's times like that that really test your patience.
How did you like the cinematic encounters where you had to go through this entire time and you were rushed through, like something's coming up, like water's rushing in, and you can't stop and save. You just have to go, and if you die you go right back to the beginning.
I'm not really a fan of that style of game, to be honest. I'd rather it just be fluid and just, attack it as it happens and not just like, oh, we're going to map everything out for you like that.
Yeah, it
Sounds
was
like Explosion Man.
it was very cinematic, or not cinematic, climactic. It was always at the climax of a particular area that you would have to, you would rescue something and then you would have to like run for your life the whole time. And it felt really awesome when you finished it, but when you die on your like fifth run through and you die like one jump away from the end and then you have to go and start all over again, and then of course you're so flustered by that you screw up about 8 more times.
Yeah.
That got a little frustrating.
Well, I can understand that.
Yeah, the game becomes harder and has a steep incline as soon as you start to unlock certain abilities in the game. And pretty much like one minor slip in movement could basically just result in your demise.
Yeah.
The dominoes fall and then you die.
Yes, for sure.
There were some pretty interesting game mechanics they introduced, like there was that area with the change of your perspective.
Change your perspective.
Don't want to spoil too much, but gravity starts getting really weird.
All right, nice. That sounds fun. A little bit of
there's some where
gravity
it's
rush.
like switched up gravity, and then other areas where you need like this like orb to basically unlock certain like platforms that you can jump to, which was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Things like that. But overall, like the colors in this game like really stood out to me. There's a lot of like deep blues, purples, and you have like these ominous silhouettes that move around in the foreground.
That's cool.
So in terms of like style points, I think Ori and the Blind Forest like knocked it out of the park in that regard. But like the thing that I thought was interesting, because like before I even played this, like I had only seen screenshots of it, and it's one of those games where if you just like look at a screenshot, it can be kind of deceptive because it's very reminiscent of like that children's like TV show style due to like that charming and beautiful art style that it has. But really, beneath it all, it's a pretty sophisticated like platformer. It can be frustrating at times, like other Metroidvania titles, but the challenges feel like they can be beaten, and it's just a quality platformer overall. So my score Despite the story, which was really the only knock on it that I had, I gave it 4 out of 5 poisonous slugs.
Right.
Excellent.
Stand poisonous slugs.
Man, I'm watching this video that Rob's streaming here, and it looks really pretty.
Yeah.
I want to play it now.
It's usually on pretty cheap, so it's definitely worth picking up.
Trust me, I already have it.
Yeah, I'm sure you already have. All right. Well, did you beat anything, Pete?
Sort of. I was talking to you guys about this before the show. I don't know if I count this as a complete game, but I played through The Gallery, Episode 1, Call of the Starseed, which, that's quite a mouthful.
Yeah.
This is just sort of a VR, I guess, puzzle game, except it's extremely short. Like, I mean, I dicked around a bunch, and it still took me less than 2 hours. You know, it was 111 minutes of playtime. But in spite of that, it's actually it has really good voice acting, and it has kind of an intriguing story, but it's of course short,
Right.
a couple hours. But I don't know, it had some aspects that I kind of liked. Have you guys ever played Alone in the Dark for 360, the Xbox? Or actually, I guess it was more than that, but it was the more recent one.
Nope.
It had sort of a weird inventory, so instead of opening up a bunch of boxy inventory that's a menu, your dude would open up his jacket and you'd look down, and like on each side of your jacket you had things sort of strapped to the inside. So it was kind of a cool way of doing an inventory without making it feel, separate from the gameplay.
Right.
And in this game, it does the same sort of thing. You reach over your back with the VR controller, you pull it in front of you, and you've got a backpack. And you rummage through the backpack to find the item that you're looking for, pick it out, and then you can put the backpack back on and continue doing what you're doing. So
this looks like a game I could actually play because it uses teleportation as a movement mechanic.
yes, yeah, it does. I mean, I never felt uncomfortable. Well, I shouldn't say that. There was one time it had some issues with. I leaned my head forward and I went over a piece of terrain that was higher, and for some reason it decided that I needed to fly into the air. So that made me a little nauseous, but in spite of that, I thought it had some really cool things. The last puzzle, I think there were only 4 puzzles maybe in this game, and the last one is, okay, solve this weird. I don't think it's not really a spoiler. It's this weird thing where you put fuses into a box to they have different values and they add up to a number at the top for 4 numbers.
Okay.
And you're supposed to guess the password, what 4 numbers they are. And they basically tell you the first one and the third one, and then the rest of it's just trial and error. I'm like, this is not.
That's not very fun.
This is not what I want out of a puzzle.
No.
I don't want to. Yeah, I get to do password cracking stuff at work sometimes. I don't want to do it in a freaking game. So I mean, I don't know if I was thrilled with all the puzzles, but overall, I actually think people should. If you have a VR headset, I think it's worth a try. Although I don't know what the price is on it right now. If it's spendy, I don't know if I'd recommend it just because it's short. But it's a really good VR experience. I thought and actually, what they're showing in the video, I forgot about. They don't ever tell you about this, but you have a little gamepad in your backpack.
And
I pulled it out and I'm like, what the hell is this? It says Game Quest, and I hit it, and it says Return to Title. I'm like, what? So I did it, and it booted me out of the game to the title screen. I'm like, oh!
That's how you get your settings and stuff. Okay.
Yes, that's the menu. So there's no UI, really. It's all in-game, which is cool, but
Yeah.
But it was also frustrating they never told me that. But anyway, I'd still recommend it. I'm waiting for episode 2. I don't think it's a complete experience yet, but
And when did episode 1 come out?
April of 2016.
Oh, so they're going off of the Half-Life 2 episode model. Got it.
Yes, well, I did a quick Google search. I'm like, did this get canceled? What happened? And there is a developer diary posted recently for episode 2, but there is no release date mentioned yet. So
Gotcha.
who knows when I'll be able to give you a complete review of this.
Right.
But in the meantime, I would recommend giving it a try if you can get it for cheap.
Okay. All right. Well, let's figure out what we added to the pile in Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
Finally, the part I'm good at.
Totem, what'd you add, man?
Really not a whole lot. It was mostly just whatever was in the Humble Monthly. So, I mean, really, like the two main ones that were in there were Total War Warhammer and One Piece Pirate Warrior 3.
They've made 3 One Piece Pirate Warrior games.
So now it's a 3-piece.
Apparently.
Okay.
So are these like pirate warriors that are wearing one pieces?
Oh,
Yes.
hot.
Yes, definitely.
So the second one was Bikini Pirate Warriors.
That was the sequel.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Wasn't as good. Had too many gaps.
All right, Pete, what did you pick up?
I was doing real good, and then I started. It was a slippery slope. I picked up Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's really good so far. But I haven't played very much of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what isn't very good? Probably Homefront: The Revolution. I also picked that one up.
Yeah, it's probably not very good.
It was really cheap.
Hey, you have now set the ground floor for a game, so it's probably way better than Ride to Hell Retribution.
Yeah, to be honest, I think it's going to be really hard to be worse than Ride to Hell. Spoilers, because, for that review, you might come thinking it was going to be a high score.
Right.
Let's see. Wound up picking up a game called Hero Siege, which I think is beatable. I don't know, it had episodes, right?
Yeah, had
You kinda
acts,
played
yeah.
some of that. Yeah. And then at that point, I had a satanic number of video games. I had 666 in my Steam library. So I had a friend gifted me the Higurashi When They Cry game on Steam. So thank you, Ted, for
So
that.
now you're at 667. Okay.
Yes. I couldn't let it sit there. Something evil was going to happen.
Right, like you'd have to play Ride to Hell Retribution more.
Oh, bad news. It still happened.
It would just be stuck launched forever until you beat it.
Oh, God.
It's like you couldn't turn off the Xbox until it was beat.
That is hell.
I also picked up Horizon Zero Dawn. It's just I've heard,
no, we all have it.
right. I've heard way too many good things about it, so definitely had to pick that up. I also picked up I don't even know how you pronounce it. I guess Nier Automata.
I don't know. That one looks interesting. Is it actiony or is it like action RPG? I don't really know.
Haven't even put it into the PS4 yet. It looks like it's much more action based. Maybe an action RPG. So
I'll be very curious about that. I was tempted, but
I believe that's from the same developers as Bayonetta, and I enjoyed Bayonetta. So.
Oh, is it? I thought this was Boy, I'm out of the loop.
I may be wrong. I think I read that in a review somewhere. So, because everything you read on the internet is correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I also picked up a Hero Siege, thanks to Pete, because we were playing that on our game night.
Yeah. You're welcome.
That,
for like the
that
70
game
cents
was
or whatever.
Okay, very buggy, but when you could actually play it, it was fun.
It gets sort of mind numbing after a while. I mean, it's kind of cool if you're looking for something mindless to do, but by the end we were basically just running around. I was the redneck class, and one of my special abilities launched flaming tires, and
we would just be like seeing tires fling across the screen.
Yeah, I buffed it way the hell up, so basically it was like almost a 100% chance I'd roll flaming tires.
And then it's like I was playing the Necromancer, and so I'd have these skeletons that would walk around, and the skeletons would sometimes wander off into a pit and just like be spinning constantly, not doing anything. And then sometimes when I would get killed and we were fighting like a major boss and everybody would die except for one person, but my skeletons would just go in and go ham on this guy and destroy the boss while the other guy was just running around trying not to get killed.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Buggy game. So hopefully they'll fix it up as we move on.
Yeah,
I can beat that.
Nice.
All right, well, let's figure out how we can add more stuff to our pile, but it's on sale.
Shut up and take my money.
All right, well, Doom, for those of you who don't have it already, and that's the new one that came out, I would think, last year. It's on sale until March 20th for $30 on Steam. So pretty good sale there.
People who've played it seem to like it.
Yes, it
Buy
did
it.
get pretty good reviews. I have it. It's like sitting right here on my desk. I'm looking at it. It's still in a shrink wrap. So I'm
Like, if you guys like played the last Wolfenstein that they did, you have to buy Doom. Like, it was really good.
Okay. All right, Humble Bundle is doing another jumbo sale, and there's one in here in particular that one of my friends is urging me to pick up for game night, but I'll have to see how expensive that one game is, because none of the rest of them seem to be calling out to me.
I think it's only $7.18 right now for Warhammer.
But I don't want all the other games because it adds to my pile, and I don't want.
Oh yeah, shame.
I guess I can give them all away on the show if I wanted to. There you go.
Can you resist the temptation?
Probably. All right. So for pay anything you want, you can pick up the following games: Valhalla Hills, Legends of Eisenwald. Damn, Overwatch tried to get me to say Eichenwald. The Journey Down 1+2 bundle. And then for paying the average, which is currently $7.18, you can pick up Warhammer End Times Vermintide. And that's the one my friend wants me to pick up because that's apparently like a Left 4 Dead thing in the Warhammer universe.
Yep.
Jotun Turmoil, which apparently is a parody simulation game where you're an oil baron. Arion,
I see what they did.
Arion Legacy of the Kori Odon, Void Destroyer, and the Interactive Adventures of Dog Mendonga and Pizza Boy.
I think that's Dog Mendonça, or is that a C?
That's a
it's
C with
C
something.
with a little squiggly.
Yeah, I have no idea how that's pronounced.
I have no idea what most of these games are.
Right. And then for $10, you can pick up a game called Verdun, which is a World War I multiplayer first-person shooter.
I've actually been sort of tempted by that in the past, so...
So you can pick that up. Any other game deals you guys saw out there? I know that Best Buy is currently having a sale and also a trade-in, like game trade-in offer. So if you
I
guys...
had not seen that, but no, beyond that, well, let's see. Beyond the things that Steam constantly emails me about, because everything is on my wish list. XCOM's on sale, or XCOM 2 is on sale for $24 on Steam.
Yeah, I need to start playing XCOM 2. It's somewhere in my pile.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
buried deep in...
Yep.
Yeah, and underneath hundreds of other games.
And all right, well, let's figure out what is coming up next for us in Coming Attractions. Okay, so for me, the games I've been playing, Sleeping Dogs. Going back to that, I've apparently had put 12 hours into that before, and then I remember when I upgraded my system to Windows 10 back on my old machine, the controller stopped working. Like, I could use the up and down D-pad for menu stuff, and I could press start to get to the menu, but like moving around, pressing in the action buttons didn't do anything. But now they're talking about making a movie for this game, and I'm on my new rig, so I'm like, all right, I'll kick it on, see how it's going. And at first, it did the same thing, where I couldn't use the controller. And I tried playing with the mouse and keyboard. It was not very fun, especially on the racing stuff. So I was reading online, and they said, okay, try just, as soon as you launch the game, don't touch the mouse or keyboard. And I tried that. It works. So I can, as long as I don't touch the mouse and keyboard, I can play it.
What the heck kind of solution is that?
I know, right? I have no idea. It's something with the direct input, DirectX input stuff that screws it up. So I don't get it.
I'll teach you. Don't touch it.
Right. So hey, but I'm playing it, and then it's like I start this mission. I go to basically a red wedding scenario, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I forgot what happened the last 12 hours. I remember I'm an undercover cop in Hong Kong doing something with the Triad. That's about all I remember.
Oh, that's rough.
So I have to go back and do it. So I put a few more hours into that.
You just added an amnesia subplot. That's all.
Right. Yeah, I'm just like, I just wake up and I'm like, what the shit's going on? Let's see. I also jumped into a game called Knights of Azure.
The hell is that?
It's a PS4 game. It's very like, what is it? Damn it. Dynasty Warriors?
Oh, it's like one of those big, large-scale hack and slash kind of things?
Yeah. So you walk around and you've got these little spirits that you can summon and keep track of and find and acquire these little demons to go through. It's a story of very anime type story with two girls, one priestess, one like half demon, and they're friends, and then there's this whole plot going on. The story is really cliche, really crap. The voice acting not great. The animation not great, but the gameplay seems pretty fun. So I'm messing with it. I picked it up pretty cheap on Black Friday, I think. So I just threw it in there because I just wanted son to just play while I was on the couch. So.
All right. Is that nights like evenings or nights like?
It's nights like
guys in
evening.
armor?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. As apparently the main story is that a demon got slayed and cursed the lands to be always at night or something.
Doesn't sound so bad.
Right. So it's
like living in Seattle.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, just kind of bouncing back and forth. I mean, I tried Dragon Age again, still having issues with that. So, all right. Well, Pete, what have you been up to?
Well,
or what will you be up to? Sorry, we're in the what will you be up to section.
That's right. Well, it also ties into what I have been doing. So
right.
That's I think, yeah. God, I really hope I finish Ride to Hell.
I was watching your stream last night, man. I'm surprised you didn't throw a controller through a window.
I'm pretty lucky that nobody was watching towards the end because I started getting like seriously angry at the game. I think I was telling you guys before we started recording, but there was a boss I got to, the last boss I was going to beat last night. I'm trying to get 2 a night, which means I'm on track for the next game. But yeah, I shot him like 90 times with the rifle. And he wouldn't die, and it's because you had to run up to him and engage in fisticuffs to beat him. Yeah, and beyond that, you were watching when the hell of eternal loading cropped
hell of
up.
Eternal terrible sex scene and eternal loading. Yes.
Yeah, well, that was the positive part, right? No, God, fully clothed sex over and over again. The game crashed during load screens 4 times in a row.
Yeah, every time you died, it's like the ultimate death penalty.
It really is. I'm like, this is extremely motivating. So, anyway, there are only 2 more names I know about in the game for my bad dude to kill. So I'm hoping I will finish that in the next playthrough, and then I can play something else dumb that's actually fun. Like,
no, we're not even.
I'm thinking maybe Panty Party.
Get some Panty Party going
actually,
on there. Welcome
need
back,
it.
Totem. Yeah, so yeah, I fully understand it. You take a very heavy game followed by a very light game. Yep, heavy on your soul, anyways. I understand.
It is brutal. Seriously, like I could maybe handle it for an hour, but I've been playing it for 2.5 at a crack. So I do not recommend that. If you were listening, heed my words and just all things in moderation, especially Rides to Hell.
Right. All right, Totem, what are you gonna be up to?
All right, well, next up, I'm going to be playing through Alien Isolation. That's been kind of on my playlist for quite some time. I did start it. I'm just not that far into it, so still have not run into an actual alien yet. And hopefully that will change pretty soon. You know, I've had some other people that are on the ship already trying to kill me, so, you know, that's a start. Not what I'm really wanting to get at, you know, from an alien game, but I'll get there.
Right.
It's still pretty spooky, though. I really I think I probably only got a little beyond where you are, but I was still on edge the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. After that, I'll probably finally get around to playing through Until Dawn. So,
Okay.
Ah,
get
yes.
a little bit of a horror block here pretty soon. So, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I think I'll
Nice.
keep up the Hong Kong motif going and finish Sleeping Dogs. I'll start
there you
streaming
go.
that. I'll probably stream that on Friday since I'm not raiding anymore. So tune in
Perfect
Friday about
opportunity.
6 or 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll start up the stream and get that finished up hopefully. All right, for our giveaway. So last episode we announced that we'd be giving away a copy of the Stanley Parable. And 4 people entered, so there's your odds. You had 1 in 4 chance. So next time, enter if you want the game. You have a really good shot at getting it. But the winner goes to @Bobo_Bob on Twitter. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I'm glad he typed that out here somewhere I could see it because that's a lot of B's.
Right? It's like without underscores, it's even better. Bob. That's good.
Yeah, that would be just terrifying. I think I'd have an aneurysm right there.
All right. Well, as a viewer of the show or a listener, or however you're engaging your senses with our wonderful voices, you've got a chance to win a free game. So this week's game we're giving away is Chroma Squad, and it's going to be redeemable via Humble Bundle account. You should be able to grab a Steam key from there if you want, or download it directly from Humble Bundle. To enter, like or retweet the giveaway post on Twitter from @POShame that will be going out here shortly. This will be posted on March 16th, 2017 at around 8:15 to 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So check in on the timeline there, like or retweet that. Terms and conditions apply. Please visit the show's post at poshame.com for full details.
So professional.
I know. All right. Well, if you would like to game with us, you can find links to all of our different gaming profiles and more on the show notes of each episode at poshame.com. So, Totem, what you got, man?
All right. Well, obviously, Overwatch competitive season 4 is still ongoing, and I have 2 accounts, so whether or not you're higher up or not, you can play with my main or my Smurf. But feel free to add me on Battle.net at Totemly Drunk number 1819, and my Smurf, which is Totemly Boozy number 1342.
Yeah, I'll have to get together with you on that. I finally got my golden gun, though, so yay. All right, Pete.
Yeah, so I guess if you're listening, please give me a reason to live while I'm playing Ride to Hell by joining me for whatever Wednesday at 7 p.m. PST, Pacific Time, on Wednesday.
Keep his sanity, man. He needs it.
I need somebody out there to keep me on the straight and narrow, because,
You're almost there, man. You're almost there. All right, if you're good at improv and you know the Shadowrun universe well, hit me up. Ping me to chat about an upcoming project. I need you. All right, to get in contact with the show, email us at show@poshame.com. Pete, how can everyone best reach us?
well, as usual, you can follow us on Twitter. Rob is at @_ChaiT, that's THI. Pete is at Fighting Viper, and Totem is at TotemlyDrunkCTR. And then the show is at POShame.
All right, guys, conquer the pile and don't quit. We'll be back in a couple weeks with more content to add to the pile. Until then, don't get smothered by your pile of shame.
I rolled a 20.